just got a hint a little bit today, is my point, with this whole Florida Citrus Committee requesting funding from Orlando and already getting that ball rolling, that maybe it's a lean toward Orlando in 2027. I don't know how big of a deal this is for people. We know it's happening, and it's 2027. That seems like 10 years down the road. But we could get that part of the story soon enough.
I'm awake now, man, because, okay, Gainesville, Orlando, doesn't really matter to me, whatever, just, find a stadium. And then all of a sudden, Brent had to mention, there's a lot of Tampa Bay fans, and they're kind of feel a certain type of way about it in Orlando. Brent, you mentioned that, and I perked right up. Forget it, man. Void the Chris Godwin contract. Offer him $45 million right now. Get him in Jacksonville. I want Orlando, and I want Chris Godwin. I want to bury the Buccaneers, Brent. Bury them. Let's go.
I want to bury the Bucs. You have turned this into an AEW skit.
This is what it's got to be, Brent. Hey, Brent, hey, it's called competitive sports. All right, this is what you got to be in on, Brent. All right, stop riding the fence. Stop. No, man, pick a side and let's go to war.
I'm actually disappointed. You reminded me of something, and I'm disappointed in myself that I never did this, because on what was it, last Thursday, I was in the Tampa area, and driving by the stadium and all the stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, I was like, I'm going to tweet out today. I was thinking of a tweet. I'm going to tweet out, what can we take from Tampa today? And then I was
Tampa Bay Rays.
So I couldn't.
Sean Khan.
Take the Rays.
I don't care about the restaurants. I don't care about the shipyards. Make it into a giant baseball stadium, and let's go ahead and poach those Rays as well. We have plenty of Rays in Jacksonville. I see them all the time on the beach. Not really, but I'm sure they're there. So go ahead and let's poach the Rays as well. Let's take their baseball team. Let's take Chris Godwin, and let's take their Orlando Disney adult fans, and let's call it a day.
That's funny. That's we should just do that. We should do that every day. Here's a new segment just landed on. What can we take from Tampa today? And you want the Rays today? Okay, they're probably
I want the Rays today
up right now.
They really are. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be. Do you really think anything? Is this just a fandom thing now that's going to bubble for years and years to come, especially depending on how good Cohen is or how good Tampa is versus the Jags? It's not an AFC South kind of thing. It's not a Tennessee Jags deal. But do you think this is going to have some staying power, what transpired in January?
Listen, I hope it does, Brent, because, man, I'm bored. I need a rival. I thought we had that with the Houston Texans, but then Christian Kirk gets traded for, a couple sandwiches and a 7th-round pick, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, that's cool. I feel I don't know. I'm not sure that the Jaguars fan base really cares. Maybe I'm just, I'm screaming out into the void, trying to perk up something that's not even there. But I thought Houston was going to be the big rival this offseason. I thought anything Houston related, would have been big middle fingers to them. But Christian Kirk goes there and it's nothing. So.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's pretty interesting. By the way, welcome in on YouTube. We do have YouTube up and running now if you like to and prefer to watch on that platform. Thanks for the patience there as we begin hour number 2, live from Nimnicht Buick GMC, Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network. Of course, you can find us simply at actionsportshacks.com. All the content each and every day, 24 hours of content, sports and local sports right here on actionsportshacks.com. Nobody else can give you that. And also you can get us on all the different platforms like Twitter and Facebook and now YouTube and Twitch and the Action News Shacks app as well. Hey, I got a football question for you that we keep talking about Travis Hunter. We're going to really get, we got Shock Your Mock coming up. Send them to sports at actionnewsshacks.com if you have a mock draft that you'd like to submit. We're going to start that on Wednesday, so we're going to give you a couple more days to get that rolling and get them in so you can play against another listener or viewer and hopefully Oh, you'll have some fun with it. Go to Pro Football Network if you can and use that simulator, and then send them to us, again, via sports@actionnewsjax.com, or go find us on social media, and we'll be able to see it. And I'm bookmarking them. I'm using the bookmark tool more than I ever did before on social media, so I'll be able to go back and get those. We'll begin. I'm learning. People are like, Brent, been using the bookmark tool for like 6 years. Okay, well, I just started. So we've got that to save some of the Shock Your Mock nominations for 2025. But as we talk about that, I was thinking of this today with Travis Hunter, because there's a lot of discussion that Hunter now could fall to number 5. I'll ask 2 questions to you, Austin, and we'll talk a lot of Hunter over the next month. But if Hunter's there at number 5, do you take him?
Oh, man, yeah. And I saw this in the chat, too. You know, I kind of go back and forth with this, Brent, because you feel like if he's there at 5, then he definitely fell to you, right? It almost feels kind of like the whole Jalen Ramsey effect, like the Josh Hines Allen effect, where it's like, oh, wow, I mean, this is, too good to pass up, so let's go ahead and take him. That's what Travis Hunter feels like to me. I just go back and forth with it because I think, yes, wide receiver, why not have a 1A and 1B with him and Brian Thomas Jr.? You've immediately made yourselves arguably a top 10 wide receiving core with that draft pick alone. I just feel like there's more of a pressing need at interior defensive line. So could I see it happening? Absolutely. Am I going to celebrate it? I'm not going to be mad about it, but do I think Mason Graham or an interior defensive line would be the better choice? I do.
It's interesting. Okay. I think I already knew this before even this question and some of these reports that, okay, maybe he could drop. Like, I'm all in on Travis Hunter. Like, I'm cool with Travis Hunter from the jump. I think I've said this over the last couple of weeks. If you look after free agency, I think there's an immediate role for receiver right now more than almost any other position on the roster. Like, it fills an immediate need and role, and you're talking 50, 60 snaps a game, and I'm not even talking about the defensive side. Now, that's if they view him at receiver. Now, one of the crazy things about the Travis Hunter deal is we all don't know. There's not a universal way of thinking, a unanimous way of thinking on what position he's going to play. I feel like it's leaned heavily now toward receiver. 3 months ago, I was on defensive back. So I don't know where the Jags see him, what other teams see him, and what that does to his value and where he slides. But I'm looking at him as a receiver. And if he's a receiver, I think the Jags have an immediate need right there for a potential star player. And I love the idea of getting Travis Hunter and putting the speed of Hunter in the hands of Hunter. Well, and in this offense specifically, being able to run after the catch, Travis Hunter with Brian Thomas Jr. and pair those two guys. And I'm not sure anybody else has something like that in the National Football League.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like nobody would. And I always go back to this question, Brent, and I brought this up before, weeks ago when we talked about Travis Hunter. Like, obviously the Jaguars are in need of probably a cornerback as well, right? So they're not going to draft him in the first round. So you feel like if you draft Travis Hunter, it'll probably be to, fitting the wide receiver mold, but maybe a couple reps at cornerback as well. Who knows? But I think a big concern of mine would be, and keep in mind, this is the benefit of having the unicorn that is Travis Hunter. Knock on wood, but say an injury does happen in the Jaguars secondary. Maybe, and once again, I'm knocking on wood here, not wishing anything on anybody, but let's say Tyson Campbell gets hurt a little bit and he's out for, a couple weeks. Who's to say and maybe the fan base goes, oh, well, we have Travis Hunter, who could be your your cornerback 1. Let's go ahead and try him out then. We appreciate he's a wide receiver, but man, we need corners. We're hurting right now. So let's put Travis Hunter back at corner. And then all of a sudden, we're shifting back and forth between, okay, well, what do we really need more? Could you see that happening?
Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of that, but that's just because I'm not a fan of moving a guy all over the place.
And literally 310 Fire just said what I said, by the way. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I don't know, Austin. I don't. It's hard for me to answer that question because I don't even know where they plan to use him. You know what I mean? I know in my mind I've planned him at wide receiver if you're going to pick him at number 5. I don't think they're using him at corner, but maybe they would. So And I really don't like your scenario. Like, it just feels like it's a mess waiting to happen if that's the case. Like, if, hey, oh, yeah, you're good here, and then boom. Unless, like, something else were to emerge, right? If they were to pick, like, a fourth-round receiver or and that receiver is, like, lights out and they feel like they could do that, I mean, you'd have to have the pristine reason to do that. Like, it would have to set up perfectly to do what you just suggested, and I think that just creates a lot of potential issues. I don't like the success rate of what you just said, especially given the past history of the Jaguars.
No, listen, Brent, I don't like it at all either. But let's be honest here. You're talking about a guy who could be drafted as the top cornerback or the top wide receiver. So if you have that guy on your team and the other side of the ball has a pressing need due to an injury or whatever the case may be, you're going to call for him to play the other side of the ball until, it's filled, like that injury or whatever, that slot is filled. Like, that's the way it's going to be. And even I'll do that. Like, it's one thing if the fan base does it, but I feel like, I don't know if coaches would call for it. I have no idea. Like, it's a very unique circumstance. And yes, we understand that when it comes to putting players in the right position to succeed, this team hasn't really done that the past decade. New regime now, new coaches and everything. You hope they can do it. Like, this all goes into it too, Brent, right? Like, with all this hype, right, with all the jersey sales, is going to come the other side of this. And the other side of it's going to be, well, where do you play him? And if you have injuries, do you move him accordingly? And I feel like not every team's going to be suited for that, and I'm not sure if the Jaguars are or not.
Well, organizationally, you have to have a plan for him, right? No doubt. No matter who picks him, you have to have a plan, and then you've got to do what something James Gladstone has said a lot about in his first month and change on the job, and that is discipline. You have to be disciplined about whatever your plan is. You got to be able to stick to that. You can't be emotionally attached to that and slide it around. So we'll see if they are disciplined in that approach if they were to get a guy like Travis Hunter. I think Coach Ripley just brings up something that's pretty interesting. He said he's locked in on the snaps. If he's a corner, he can spot in at wide receiver. I don't think he can play wide receiver and be great and spot in at corner, if that makes sense. And it makes a lot of sense to me, Coach Rip, because that's something I've thought about a lot. Like, if you are a corner, you can definitely go sprinkle in packages right on the offensive side. Where are you sprinkling in on defense if you're a receiver most of the time? Like, where are you coming in to sprinkle in and say, give somebody a reprieve outside of injury? Let's just assume everybody's health. Like, maybe there's a dime package that you would jump in occasionally and be a part of, but if you're playing on this guy as a wide receiver, you already have your nickel, right? And you got your two corners. So, I mean, it would be very spotty on that side of the ball, which, by the way, is also okay. The one thing nobody's doing here in the NFL is giving this dude 90 to 100 snaps, because you're so concerned about injury to begin with in the NFL. You're not exposing him to that amount of potential injury. There's no way they're doing it. I just don't buy it. I don't believe it. I don't think it's going to happen. Special teams is a certain possibility on punt return, and then maybe it would be like a dime package, Austin. Like, I guess that would be the only way to spot in if he's primarily a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it would be hard to sprinkle in at corner. Like, it's weird because I think if he was a safety, Brent, then you could do a lot more things with him. Like, if he was just, if he was bigger, if he was built like Kyle Hamilton and a wide receiver, then you can then it's like, okay, you're playing safety, but we're gonna man you up on Sam Laporta, like one of the best tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Because we go man to man with the tight end, or if you're a safety, we can drop back into zone coverage. You can play center field. Like, there's a lot more. I feel like, think of almost like a Jamal Adams in his prime, where the guy was just everywhere. Yeah. He did a little bit of everything, right? Or Eric Berry of yesteryears, played for the Chiefs. With corner, not so much. So I do agree. Like, I think if you want to play him both ways, you would draft him as a corner and then sprinkle him in certain offensive packages.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and I agree with Coach Ripley. I think it's much easier if you were to just play him at corner to get him involved on the other side of the ball rather than play him at wide receiver and get him involved on this side of the ball. And I agree with you on the safety front too, if he was, but that is definitely not it for Travis Hunter. Okay, there's one other part of this Travis Hunter thing for me, and we'll close with this on a guy that we're probably going to talk about a lot over the next month, but he doesn't feel like a Jags pick to me, Austin. And what I mean by that is, I feel like over time the Jags have mostly gone with what I would call safe picks. And I'm not even sure Travis Hunter is a risky pick. I just think the whole package doesn't feel like the Jags have gone that route. So let me give you some examples. And I'm not even just talking. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about the bandwidth this guy gets, the branding that he brings, obviously the star ability that he has, and the playability that he has. So like some of these guys might not resonate in that way. Like think about a Johnny Manziel, right? So Johnny Manziel had like all these different traits that you could say, wow, this guy would be cool to have on your team, have on your roster. He gives you a little bit of edge. Like a lot of these same things. Now we know in hindsight the Johnny Manziel thing didn't work out from a football standpoint, but all the stuff going into Manziel, polarizing because he's a quarterback, polarizing also at times because of whether it's personality, brand, and everything else. But he was like star potential. And the Jags obviously didn't go that route. And by the way, it turns out good that they didn't go that route. If you think about other players in history, you're going to bring up Jalen Ramsey most likely. Well, keep in mind, coming out of Florida State, Jalen Ramsey wasn't necessarily the brand that he became like overnight when he got to the NFL. People were not like, oh, wait, they weren't talking about Jalen Ramsey like they're talking about Travis Hunter or some other players in past years in college football. They weren't saying those kind of things. They say he was a good player. And still laugh at the fact that they said his ball skills were the thing that really were in question because obviously that turned out to be okay for Jalen. But Jalen became Jalen really once he got to the NFL. It's like he elevated his brand. He was a part of a very good defense and a good team, and there were a lot of studs on that Florida State team that ended up getting drafted over like a 2 or 3 year span. But it wasn't like this guy was elevated, other than they knew he was really talented in terms of deserving of a top 5 pick, and it ends up being a really good pick. Like, who else even comes to mind with the Jags that they like could have picked or did pick that comes with everything that Travis Hunter comes with? And again, I look at it in a positive light, what he comes with, all the branding, the superstar potential. It just feels like the Jags don't touch that very often in their drafting history.
I mean, I would say Trevor Lawrence. Like, listen, it's not fair to, because, I mean, once again, when we talk about Hunter, like, we haven't really seen a guy like that. So, like, no one's ever really scratched the surface of what he's capable of, so it's hard to find a comparison. But I think if we want to talk about branding and talks of image, jersey sales, intrigue, like, Trevor Lawrence is up there.
But wouldn't they have picked Zach Wilson in this specific instance that I'm talking about? Because Zach had a lot of that other, like that edgy, that flair, that like he wasn't. I mean, he felt like he could be a super. I think that's what New York liked about him, right? That he could have all that. And Trevor was huge. I don't discount that. I just feel like, I don't know, something edgy about, and almost feels risky in a way, though I don't know if it is, about Travis Hunter. That Trevor didn't feel that way to me.
I mean, if you want to talk about risky, then it's Justin Blackmon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think before the draft. It's so much we know about after the draft and what transpired.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I guess some teams knew about Blackmon because he fell to the Jaguars for a reason, but. Whether the fan base knew or whether the casual NFL fan knew about Blackmon's stuff, maybe not, but you got the sense that there was talks around the league that he could be the ultimate boomer bust type of dude due to obviously some off the field issues.
Yeah. Listen, the more again, this was total feel thing for me. And I think when you say this stuff, like, again, when you say some of that, like the edge, the branding, the attitude, I think that's looked at in a negative connotation. And I'm not doing that here. Like, I love all that stuff about Travis Hunter. That's why I'm in on Travis Hunter in part. I think this team, this franchise, this place needs more of that. Like, it's going to be better and win big when you have some guys like that. You don't need a whole locker room like that, but you need some guys like that. And so I think he fits in a lot of different ways, other than he looks like a fantastic player. player. And by the way, he's a Heisman Trophy winner, too, who can do multiple things. And the thing I love about Hunter is he had success at it. He's lived up to the hype. He's absolutely lived up to the hype that coming out of high school, where I thought he was going to Florida State, and then he turns and goes to Jackson State with Deion, and then you got the whole Deion experiment and everything else that has really worked out for him. And there's no doubt the underbelly of Deion and how people perceive Deion certainly has an influence on, I think, how we kind of look at Travis Hunter. But we've had these discussions in the past. I think Travis Hunter gets like mislabeled because of that sometimes. I think he's a fantastic draft candidate for any team, including the Jags. But I think the more we talk about it, it just feels like he's a bit of a unicorn, not just because of his style of play, but because there haven't been a lot of guys like him to even draft, or at least where the Jags were in a position to draft in at least recent history. Go back to think about his position, Austin. You think about Charles Woodson, right, who won the Heisman late 90s. Then he beat out Peyton Manning 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But he didn't come at the time like he didn't feel like this guy. He didn't feel like he's got the edge of this guy, the brand of this guy. He was an awesome player.
I mean, I think in terms of, once again, the intrigue and what he can do at different positions, I mean, I think the last guy to really do that might have been Jabril Peppers. And, like, obviously it wasn't to this extent, but, like, Jabril had a lot of hype coming, out of college.
Yeah, he did. So maybe it's more like I feel like the Jags don't usually pick a player like this for whatever reason. Maybe the answer really is there haven't been a lot of players like this to come out.
Yeah.
And I forget when Deion came out. Like, I don't really know. And, of course, the NFL wasn't as hyped as it is now, especially going into the draft. So I don't really remember exactly the Deion stuff and what it was viewed as and everything else. Was it this? Or was Prime already such a big brand that you kind of were like, hey, we know what we're getting here, and we're going to have to have a plan for all of it, not just the player, but the brand and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and here's why, if they do draft Travis Hunter, like, I wouldn't be necessarily worried about, set aside for making sure he plays the right position. But when you got guys like Deion, guys like Johnny Manziel, guys like Tim Tebow, guys like Joe Burrow. Who else can I think of real quick? I just think of guys like that in that category, okay? Their hype, their intrigue, it was predicated on play, but it was more predicated on their personality and what they brought, like, in terms of off-the-field stuff, right? For good or bad. Like, Tim Tebow was polarized because of religion. Johnny Manziel was polarized because the guy liked to party. I think Joe Burrow was polarized more for the play on the field, but also kind of the attitude of smoking stogies in the locker room and just kind of having this aura about him where it was just like he's better than everybody. I think Travis Hunter doesn't fit in that category, even though he has the most hype out of anybody, because Travis Hunter's intrigue and hype isn't predicated off his personality. Listen to an interview with the guy. He's, it's nothing like, there's no fluff. It's matter of fact. The guy's not creating crazy TikTok videos. The guy's not out there partying, pounding beers. Like, he's just going about his business. Like, I think he's more just kind of like the everyday guy. Like, he there was a little bit of stuff with his girlfriend or whatever, but, like, that's kind of the times that we live in. So I don't really buy into that whole, the girlfriend narrative. Like, listen, for whatever reason, social media becomes infatuated sometimes with significant others and how they're perceived. I don't buy into that whole narrative. But if you just take Travis Hunter, the person, and this is a compliment, he's not, like, super exciting. Like, he's not like, oh, I got to get behind that. Like, and once again, that's a compliment. But if you take Travis Hunter, the football player, well, watch him play then. Like, that's where the hype comes from. So if you have a player who all the jersey sales, all the kids tuning in to watch is predicated off what he can do on a football field, well then, yeah, guess what? Sounds like a guy that you might want on your team.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we're kind of dancing around this, but And I'm tweeting about it right now. It's a hard thing to eloquently say. It's a weird feeling around him. And again, I think that a lot of this has to do with like what we have in the chat. Hey, Hunter denied FSU at the altar, right? In this day and age where you're the big star and all of a sudden you're supposed to go to FSU. Nope, going with Dion instead. I'm going with the brand and go to Jackson State. That could be looked at as a negative, especially around here in the state of Florida if you're a Knowles fan. Then you go to Colorado, and this whole thing in Colorado, whatever it is and was or has been or it continues to be, is kind of this weird perception versus reality deal sometimes. Again, because Dion's an interesting figure in our sports world. I think he's one of the most fascinating that we have, because like half the time I'm like, Dion, what he says and does, I'm like, that's pretty cool. And the other half I'm like, what are you doing? I kind of feel like that. And I'm like older guy, right? Get off my lawn guy that most people my age or older probably are like, nope, no thanks to Dion, right? I don't care about that kind of stuff. And, the crazy thing is I don't think Hunter is very Dion-like, even though he's been around him a lot. I don't get the perception that he is. But I also think the perception is he's a risky pick. And yet, as we continue to talk about him, I'm not really sure he's a risky pick at all. He's like a really good football player. And if he's not a risky pick at all, then I'm not sure he even makes it to 5.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think he's a risky. Like, the only thing risky about him is obviously where you play him, what the plan's going to be. But I don't think Travis Hunter's a risky pick because, once again, I'll repeat what I said. Like, I think if you take an athlete in the first round whose game is more predicated off personality than it is their skill, then there could be a risk there. But if you take an athlete whose game is predicated more off of skill than their demeanor on, off the field, then it's kind of a sure thing. And I think Travis Hunter falls in the latter. So I don't think he's necessarily risky. Only risky thing about him is how do you use him and how do you get the best out of him?
Yeah, Hamby's Burner says, who thinks it's risky? I think, again, I think there's a perception that it's risky, and Austin might have just hit the reason why, because there's not this just uniform view of where he even is playing. That might be the actual risk that is really jumping right at us. And it's cool because he can play both, but it's also like you might not have a lot of faith in your organization that they're going to put him in the right spot. And that's definitely the case maybe here in Jacksonville, of having the faith in the organization that they're going to use him in the right spot. Because here's the deal. If he doesn't play well at whatever spot an organization puts him in, you're going to assume they should have put him in the other spot. Right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, for
like
sure.
That alone brings some like inherent criticism and in risk to it if you make the wrong decision. So while it's fun and could be very fruitful, it also carries some risk with it at the same time. I just think it's pretty fascinating to see where he is. But I'm with I think we just said it multiple times. We're in a day and age now where it feels like this happens more and more. When you get pumped up, when you are supposed to be a stud, I feel like these guys are living up to the hype more than they are melting. Like we went through, and there's always examples of not living up to the hype, whether that's because of injury or other circumstances. But if you really take the last, 30 years and think about some of the biggest prospects that we've had, that these can't miss kind of guys in sports, from Tiger Woods to Ken Griffey Jr., I think Mike Trout was labeled this way, Bryce Harper's labeled this way, LeBron James has been labeled this way, I think Kobe Bryant was labeled this way, I'm trying to think in the NFL world now who else is labeled that way. But probably the NFL comes to mind as risky because the quarterbacks have been so 50-50. But even Peyton Manning was labeled this way, like back in 1998, 1999. Austin, we're living in a world where these guys live up to the hype more often than not. And Travis Hunter, so far, has lived up to the hype. There's nothing slowing it down that says this guy will be nothing short of a star at the NFL level.
No, without a doubt. Just because, once again, it seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, and it seems like he's just all about ball. And if that's your personality traits, then yeah, I think you have a good shot to be something special. And it's wild too because you talk about listen, if anybody, and I mean if anybody in sports wanted to act crazy and kind of live this lavish life. You talk about a guy who's playing, one of the most ego-driven positions at wide receiver. Oh, and by the way, also plays the other most ego-driven position of cornerback. And he's down to earth, and gives boring interviews. Once again, that's a compliment. Like, that's crazy. Like, think about that. The guy could be the best cornerback or the best wide receiver, and he's humble as the day is long. That's crazy to me. If it was my son, dude, I'm like, hey, let's go and boost the numbers a little bit. Let's go and boost the NIL. Like, let's go ahead and act out a little more, please.
Yeah, and I mean, the Jags already have that guy, a wide receiver, and Brian Thomas Jr. seems like another guy full of humility, but also plays a little bit different on the field. Like, that's what you want to bring, and it'll be interesting to see. It would be wild to see those two guys play together. I mean, I really think the Jags would then have something that a lot of teams don't with those two receivers. Obviously, I say this all the time about their edge guys. I think they've got something there that not a lot of teams have. And then maybe if Trevor can play the way we think he can, now you're talking about a bunch of different positions where the Jags have things that maybe not a lot of other teams have. Mr. Hugo says something about Zion Williamson hasn't lived up to the hype. The only difference I would say here, and I don't know this, and maybe you do, Austin, I'm not talking about just the number one pick. The guys that I just mentioned have been labeled as studs since they were 12, 13, 14 years old. I'm not talking about the guy that coming out of high school went to Duke and then comes to the NBA. Zion might have been labeled that way since he was like 12. I'm not sure. But, I mean, Bryce Harper, Tiger Woods, Ken Griffey Jr., like Travis Hunter, like these guys have been identified like early on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not sure what Zion's high school highlights were like, or like what because I mean, I didn't follow him along in high school, but dude, when he was in college, like he was that guy. Like, I think Zion's a great comparison. Oh yeah, for sure. You remember the whole when he blew out his sneaker thing, and everyone was like, that was like a big story for the next 2 weeks of, is Nike going to lose money? How powerful is Zion Williamson? He just blew out his own sneaker trying to go for a dunk. I think Zion definitely fits this mold because he did have so much hype. And keep in mind, same draft class as Ja Morant. I think if the Pelicans could do it all again, they're going to draft Ja over Zion. But I think coming out in terms of hype, in terms of a guy that it just looked different with his size and stature, yeah, I think Zion's in this category.
Oh, by the way, I know I knew it in college too. I mean, I'm agreeing with you in college. I guess I'm just wondering, I don't know if he was 13, 14 years old, watch out for this kid kind of thing. I think that's a different level. Marinovich actually is going way back to a guy that, it didn't feel that way. This is always a hard thing to delineate because if you're a top pick or if you're a top prospect coming out of high school, where is that? Again, we're talking about LeBron James and stuff 14 years old. People knew about Tiger Woods. They knew about way back. That's a different deal than being, hey, I'm a 5-star recruit. Because listen, the bottom line is a lot of 5-star recruits and everything else. They blossom around their junior year of high school or something like that. Now they start to come into their own, and then they grow their brand and grow their value even more to be a top 5 pick. Jalen Ramsey might have been good when he was 13, 14, but nobody knew who the heck he was, is my point. These guys are different animals when you know them at 12, 13, 14 years old and being able to live up to the hype. And I believe Travis Hunter was one of those guys. I think early on in high school, people were already talking about a guy like Travis Hunter. So fascinating to see where he ends up. If he's as good as everybody in the chat thinks and we think here on the show, there's no way in hell he's getting a 5. So it was a good conversation. Nope. We'll see you, Mason Graham, here in Jacksonville.
For sure.
I think that's what maybe we just landed on. Hey, sophisticated, modern, and elevated details. Redefine your driving experience here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. Discover the all-new redesigned Buick lineup as well at NimnichtBuickGMC.com. And Enclave, Envision, Encore GX, and Vista, all with a first-class experience, and you can get special financing as well. Who brings it all together for a better buying experience? Nobody but Nimnicht. We're live at Nimnicht Buick GMC today, right off Phillips Highway. You can always check them out at NimnichtBuickGMC.com as well. Mugshot Monday on the horizon next. Kim's Corner. Can't wait for it. It's on the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Find it simply on the Action News Jax app or ActionSportsJax.com. Most of us know how to throw. but you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jags Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, you can take 10% off any water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Action Sports Jags is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jags 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, welcome inside the Nimnicht Buick GMC, just right through these doors, and you can see us if you come in. That's me right there, like holding the camera. And now on the other side of the camera, right off Phillips Highway, we're here until 1 o'clock today on a Monday on the Brent Austen Show, the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 Network. A look at the showroom, and we have our Committed to the Uncommitted scholarship presentation coming up about 1 o'clock today with the folks here at Nimnicht. So always come on by and do the show live, and we'll have that young man here later today as well, probably in about an hour as we get rolling through the show here on a Monday. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, back in the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 Network studios. Kim's Corner with us as well. She's looking forward to this Mugshot Monday segment. So am I, because I don't really know too much about it. Austin's going to have to lead the way. And one other thing about, before I get to that, Austin, I don't really need compliments or a pat on the back. I'm not that guy. But I am a little surprised that we don't get a few more thank yous for just like never doing commercials, because we just went about an hour without doing one. Well, not never doing commercials, but certainly not as frequently as
Let them know, Brent.
I probably should get to a commercial break sooner or later. So we get them all in by 1 o'clock today.
I didn't even notice, man, to tell you the truth.
Will.
Yeah, see, I haven't noticed.
We're just rocking and rolling.
Yeah, when you're freestyling, man, you have good conversation. It's hard to pick up on the, we got to take a break. I mean, if it's good dialogue, I say just keep it flowing.
By the way, Hamby texted us a short time ago as well, and he said, "I love getting texts from my dad telling me to listen to the show because I'm getting flamed."
Yep. Yep. Good to see that his hands still work now, I guess. Well, I guess his hands are working now. I guess his hands weren't working, this morning or last night. But
you ain't seen nothing yet, Papa Hamby.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if Papa Hamby's getting mad at us, or if he's kind of laughing along today in the show. Hey, let's get back on time here. We'll take a time out. Noon hour ahead. Daniel Griffiths writes about pressure. Not pressure on players, pressure on the quarterback, and how that impacts QB play. We'll see if you're surprised by these numbers or not. That's part of the story, and you can find it at actionsportshacks.com. Get a little bit ahead on that part, and we will talk about it here on the show, what Daniel Griffiths writes about. The Jacksonville University Dolphins set to tip off in just a few minutes down at Daytona Beach. CBI, that's another college basketball tournament, not the NIT or NCAA, but they continue their season, try to get another W, and I think that would be their 20th win of the year if they can beat Incarnate Word today at noon. We'll keep you posted on this one throughout the day with Action Sports Shacks on social media and also on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Shacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Yeah! Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Oh, Shock Your Mock season is here. So if you don't know the Shock Your Mock stuff, here's the deal. This is a good idea what it looks like. Shock Your Mock 2025. It's going to get underway on Wednesday. And basically something that we started way back in like 2019. We're on the radio side with the Brent Austen Show. And this is Austin's thing. It has a lot of fun. Basically, you get roasted for your mock is the idea. But you do it seriously, how you want it to go. And most of the time, Austin will probably find a way to roast you in your mock. And we're going to pit you against somebody else. So if you send your mock in, we will highlight a 1v1. If we get a lot of them, we may even bring a third into the fray during a given day. We'll probably do this on a daily basis, almost at least starting on Wednesday, all the way up until the draft. We'll have a final bracket as well. So a couple things. Send your mock drafts off Pro Football Network. We're really pumping up Pro Football Network here, but we think those are the easiest ones to kind of display the way we see it here. And so you go take the simulator. People love to have fun with that. Send us your favorite one, and you send it to sports@actionnewsjax.com, or you can send it to us on social media, and we will collect them all and pit you against somebody else. Prizes to be won for the winners, especially once we get to the bracket, and this will culminate right around the NFL draft. In fact, probably the day prior to the NFL draft, and who knows, maybe, I was thinking this, maybe we get the winner of Shock Your Mock to kind of jump in the following week and give us a little draft analysis, especially if their mock was so good. And we'll see if it was right on the money or not. So Shock Your Mock 2025 coming in the next couple of days. But you've got to send your mock drafts in. We already have some and a good amount, but we are looking for more. Obviously, we'll probably want about 40 of them in total. And if we get a lot more, then we'll figure out what we do with them from there, or if you have to make the cut.
Well,
I'm sure a lot of these mocks could look similar.
I'm sure they're probably going to look a little similar, but that's fine, man. That's why we have the experts on it to break them up a little more and to try to break them down in terms of, when I say break down, not only the mock draft itself, but also the person who wrote it in terms of roasting everybody and things like that. And Brent, I'm going to take one from your book. The more people sign up, so tell your friends and everything, the bigger the prizes are going to be. How does that sound?
That's
right from the Brent Martineau school of tiered systems, the Brent Martineau school of pyramid schemes, whatever you want to call it. But the more people that sign up, the bigger the prize will be, everybody. So tell your friends.
This is a reverse. By the way, it's a reverse pyramid scheme. I'm losing money the more people sign up. Like, I literally said, like, we'll start with like $100 on the brackets, and every 25 or so that go up, or 50 or whatever it was, I'll raise the money up until 250. So we're giving $250 out for the bracket winner. And we know it's not going to be you, me, or Hampy.
Might stay in the family, though.
Like, 1%.
Might stay in the family, though. And no, keep in mind, I should clarify this. His mom signed him up for it, right? So he didn't sign himself up. So it's, so that could, that'll be interesting. But Rones, just make sure you give it half of the money to me if you win it. Thank you. We're good.
I was thinking this the other day, like Ty, when he was like 11 or 12 years old or 13 or whatever, I always would fill out a bracket, and then I'd have Ty fill out a bracket. And then we'd also do like this college football pool thing. And I didn't pay attention to it, and I had him fill it out. He literally won 2 of them, like one on a bracket and one on a college football pool. At the very least, he's won 2 different times. And by the way, it wasn't like $50. So, but he never saw that money. I just pocketed it. Is that bad?
I mean, it's not good, Brent. It ain't good. I mean, statute of limitations, maybe, but.
I remember one year, I think maybe the time he won the college football pool one, he was like 14 or something. And he's like, well, where's my money? I was like, well, you didn't pay to get in.
Dang. It's cold-blooded, Brent, but you know what? I respect it. I respect it, man.
Yeah. I'm paying for college. That's got to count for something, right?
Without a doubt.
There's a little extra scholarship money for Ty back in the day. But anyway, so send your mocks. Shock Your Mock 2025 coming up. Sports at ActionNewsJax.com. We're live at Nimnicht Buick GMC. You can see we got the big check behind us now as we get set for our Committed to the Uncommitted scholarship program. We'll have Kenyon the Jet Gardner join us from Paxton High School in just a little bit here on the show. And then we're doing a 1 o'clock presentation with the folks from Nimnicht. So the bunt cakes have arrived. They've become a staple of this day. Olivia, kind enough to bring them as well. You should have sent Ronan over here if you wanted nothing but cakes, a little snack. I didn't realize Ronan was there today, but he's having fun with Mugshot Mondays. I mean, listen, there are some wins and there are some wins. Hey,
put on the resume, Brent. Put on the parenting resume. There we go. But sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we all have those moments. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. You're not alone. Sure. Paint the Player, Paint the Plays, brought to you by That One Painter, First Coast. And Daniel Griffiths writes about it at ActionSportsJax.com. And we talk about it here on the show each and every day. And this time around, it is pressure on the quarterback. And I don't think this is going to be too eye-popping, what comes out of this experiment right here, Austin. I think as we saw in the Super Bowl, if you can get pressure on the quarterback in general, but if you really can get pressure on the quarterback with 4 up front, you are going to win yourself a lot of football games, even against the best quarterback in the game and the best minds in the game. Kansas City seemed like they just didn't even have a chance because they couldn't give him enough time to operate the offense the way they wanted to. And Daniel puts up some numbers. And I think, Kim, if you do have that graphic, we'll throw that up at some point. But well, the numbers just don't lie, Austin. We're talking about QB accuracy with no pressure is almost 80%, and it's 63.8% when you do get pressure on you if you're a quarterback. How about the completion percentage? 72% no pressure, 49% with pressure. It's a huge drop-off. And then touchdown to interception ratio, 2.7 and 1.6, the difference. That's a lot of different numbers at you, but this one maybe is the clearest of all because it takes everything into consideration. The NFL rating for a quarterback when he's not under pressure is 101.6. The pressure stat is 71.4, which is not a very good QB rating. The key to this is really, Austin, keep Trevor Lawrence cleaner, which they've done a lot to rebuild the offensive line. And on the other side of things, go get the quarterback.
Yeah, it is. So now is this going to bring offensive tackle in the first round back into conversation? No, I mean, it's it's obvious, but sometimes I feel like this gets lost, right? Because what do we talk about today? We talk about Travis Hunter, right? And just what that would mean if you brought a guy that explosive to Jacksonville. But I think sometimes, and this is, I call it the Joe Burrow effect, where, I think quarterbacks, they want the firepower, right? Quarterbacks want the receivers. They want the running backs. They want the tight ends. But lost in that is the big guys up front. And this right here proves it, whether it's on offense or defense, of just how important it is. And that's kind of the cool thing I feel like with what Daniel Griffiths did here, Brent, is, we know all the time the game's won and lost in the trenches, right? But this amplifies it. This exemplifies it. And I think sometimes we get so caught up with the sexiness of the skill position that we forget what it takes to get, to a playoff run or a Super Bowl, and that's what you find right here.
Yeah, I think you just brought up something that's really interesting, right? I mean, we get so enamored with fantasy football and Brian Thomas Jr. and all these different statistics and the high-flying offenses. And this team right now, and I think the focus of this front office, and the focus, you're always going to hear it. You can go across all 32 teams are going to talk about the trenches. Will they act on it? Will they really put the emphasis into it? Well, the Philadelphia Eagles have become the class of the league in that category, and they did it. And then look what Howie Roseman said coming out of the Super Bowl. He's like, well, we want to, I think he said this at the Combine, well, we want to keep beefing up the offense and defensive line. You can't have enough in the trenches. They just can't have enough. They're not getting satisfied, even though they've got to jump on the rest of the league, it looks like, in those categories. Well, here in Jacksonville, it looks like with Baselli, Cohen, and Gladstone, there's an emphasis on it. We're getting the talk, and everybody's going to talk, but will they do it? Well, they actually have acted on it. Now, we have no idea if some of these moves that they made are going to pay off and be good, but they at least are acting on it, which again lends you back to the draft conversation of if they are acting on the trenches to this degree in free agency and talking about it, are they going to deliver in the draft that way with that 5th overall pick in Mason Graham? And I think that really puts you in the headspace of, okay, they're preaching this, they're practicing that. Well, then Mason Graham will make a lot of sense in that defensive interior for the Jacksonville Jaguars as they try to beef that up. One other note here, Daniel Griffiths mentioned this to me. He said, a note from the article, of the 8 offenses who gave their quarterbacks the most time to throw before being pressured, and that was up there on that graphic, all 8 made the playoffs. I mean, think about how relevant that is, Austin. If you give your quarterback the most time, so with the time to throw, with no pressure is 2.4, with pressure is 3.6. Which actually, I don't think that makes them. I wonder if that's flip-flopped a little bit, because you would have more time to throw with no pressure. But the bottom line is the 8 teams in this metric that delivered all made the playoffs. So it's like a playoff metric. I mean, which probably turnovers is up there too if you're near the top of the league in turnovers. But that's an interesting one that I don't think many people would say. I mean, it makes sense. It's just that, hey, let's go now look at the top 10, top 12 teams in the National Football League, and if they give their quarterback time to throw the football better than the majority of the league, it's almost a guarantee that you make the playoffs. That's pretty interesting.
It's very interesting. Brent, let me ask you this question, because I think we can both agree, first of all, where if Trevor Lawrence does well, the team's going to do well. Yeah, like we both agree with this, right? Obviously. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then let me ask you this. What would have a more profound effect on Trevor Lawrence's career going forward? If you draft a wide receiver in Travis Hunter in the first round, or if you take that cat out of Mizzou, or whoever the top offensive tackle is, or even guard, whatever the top offensive lineman is in the draft, which is going to have more dividends for Trevor Lawrence's career? Now, I think there's an obvious answer because everyone's going to say the skill, but staying upright's got to be important too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm wrestling with. I mean, I get where you're coming from here in this question. I think it's just not an easy answer because here's why I don't think it's an easy answer, Austin. This is what you bring into play, is I think drafting the dude out of Missouri is more risky than taking Travis Hunter. I think I know what you're going to get from Travis Hunter more than I think you're going to get from that guy, or know that I'm going to get from that guy. If you could tell me that guy's going to be Tristan Wirfs or something, then I would lean toward that guy. Like, I get it. But I don't know that, and I think there's a lot more risk, and I don't think that's in this draft, by the way, from Campbell to you name it. I don't think there is this can't-miss offensive lineman. There's no Penei Sewell, it doesn't look like, in this draft. So I think I would lean, in your question, I would say I think at this stage right now, Travis Hunter actually helps you more. Because, this is where this question gets real fascinating, because I think a lot of people believe, and I do at least, that he's going to be a very good run-after-the-catch guy, right? Get the ball in Travis Hunter's hands and let him go. Well, what does Liam Cohen want to do in this offense? He wants to get the ball out. He wants to hit a little layup to Travis Hunter or Brian Thomas Jr. on a little bubble screen and let them do their thing. That's a part of his offense. That's part of where he's really good. So I think the fit for Hunter in this offensive scheme could really work given his skill set. So I think in your experiment, while I understand where you're coming from, I think I would at least for this year say Travis Hunter.
No, and listen, that's fair, but at the same time, and to kind of put devil's advocate, and by the way, I would agree with Travis Hunter as well, I think, just because he does seem like more of a sure thing than the offensive lineman in this class, especially taking it that high. But at the same time, we're talking about a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, who he's had 2 years now, Brent, where he's been banged up, right? Where we haven't got the best out of him because being banged up. Now, one of that was, kind of by Trevor Lawrence's own doing, because he took off for a run and obviously, gets cheap shotted. So, I'm not sure offensive lineman really had any correlation to that. But you got to keep him healthy and you got to keep him upright. And obviously shoring up the offensive line, whether it's with the guard or the tackle, would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I'm pushing this out there right now. Daniel Griffiths, again, he writes at actionsportsshacks.com, and we always talk about it here on the That One Painter First Coast, paint the play or paint the player. And it's as simple as this, it looks like. Keep Trevor Lawrence clean or cleaner than you have, and you go to the playoffs. I mean, it could simply be that. So if they can get that right, then they've got a really good chance to have a nice season here in Jacksonville and keep him healthier, obviously. But let him operate. Let him operate in this Liam Cohen offense because, again, that's what Baker Mayfield's been able to do and have. It's a resurrection of his career in part because he was able to stay clean. You go up to Minnesota now, you look at a Sam Darnold. He did that a lot of the year, but in the games that they didn't keep him clean, boy, did he really struggle, didn't he? I mean, it was here in Jacksonville that they got some pressure, and they forced him into some mistakes and turnovers, and then obviously in that playoff game it looked really bad. We know the way pressure, and I'm not talking, those are extreme cases. The Eagles and the Chiefs are an extreme case of pressure, but we're talking in totality over 17 weeks. If you can keep Trevor Lawrence cleaner than you've kept him and let him operate in the offense, because do keep in mind that Trevor also saves the offensive line some sacks sometimes with his escapability, but that does get you out of your offense and what you're trying to do still. Then the Jags will have a really good chance to make the postseason. That is That One Painter First Coast. Paint the play, paint the player. You can check those guys out at 904-643-3025. It's a fantastic time to paint your house outside and inside, from Atlantic Beach to Rivertown to Neptune Beach and St. John's, Orange Park, and Palatka too. Make sure you check them out at thatonepainter.com/first-coast. Hey, you brought this up a little bit earlier in the show, Austin, and I'm going to bring it up right now, and I think Kim has a little bit of this. How about the wrestling over the weekend? I see wrestling gets no attention. I'm not talking about WWE and AEW here. We're talking about collegiate wrestling or Olympic wrestling. And it's funny. We have pretty good wrestling here in Jacksonville, and we don't talk enough about it probably. On the national landscape, it doesn't get talked about, incredibly a lot. But this time of year, we're reminded, I am at least, that if you've ever been to a wrestling match in high school or college, it's electric. I mean, it's really fun to be a part of. Now, I don't know what the heck's going on half the time. I know reversal, and that's about it. Like, that's it. Reversal, 2. Like, I get it. Green, red, like, depending on what band the ref's wearing. Like, I've been to many of them, and I still don't understand it all the time, like how points are awarded. But if you watch that national championship wrestling scene, that place was electric and packed.
Yeah.
It was a huge crowd. And then we had a big moment as well, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, some would call maybe the biggest moment in NCAA tournament wrestling history. Kim, do we got the video of it we can put up?
30 seconds left. Oh, he's to the left this time. He's sliding off. Oh, he's going to get big here. On a high crotch. And he's running down. Oh, my gosh. Can you believe this? Henderson with the 3. Gave him a hustle. The Olympic champ is about to lose. It's 13 seconds. This could be it. Oh, my goodness. The biggest upset in the history of the NCAA. Could this be it? Yes.
So, for those of you that weren't following along, that had no idea this happened this past weekend, you have Gable Stevenson out of Minnesota, some regarded as one of the best heavyweights in wrestling history. Guy has won a gold medal in the Olympics. Guy, I believe, at the time was a 2-time NCAA champion. I think he won the bronze, or he got 3rd place his freshman year. He's been with the Buffalo Bills in training camp. He was with WWE for a while, trying to be a professional wrestler. Decided to go back to college this year and win a 3rd national championship, and everyone thought he was going to do it. So he was a -800 going into the tournament, before the tournament even started, to win the whole thing. By the time it was him and then Wyatt Hendrickson, I believe Gable Stevenson would have been -3,000 to win that match. And Wyatt is like, and you know, to be fair, I mean, he was like the number 2 ranked guy, but obviously just Gable Stevenson on a different level. But Wyatt Hendrickson shocks the world, beats the Olympic gold medalist, and I guess pandemonium ensued.
Yeah, pretty wild, right? I mean, again, I don't think in the grand, I don't even know how to liken it to, it felt like that was a 16 versus 1 in the bracket, right?
Correct.
When Virginia got upset. UMBC beat them. That's what it felt like, or 15 over a 2. I think that's not giving this guy enough credit. I think he's pretty good wrestler, but
of course.
I think it's giving the other guy a lot of credit, right? He's been a dominant wrestler, and you shared his background. And here's the other thing about that. Again, I'm not like a wrestling guru and don't even pretend to be. That was a heck of a move. To be able to pull that off. Like, you try a move like that normally, and that's a guy that would stymie that, because that's why he's so good. And he was able to execute that toward the end in the final minute. And then obviously you hold on. And you could tell, like, once the announcers and also like the coaches and everybody by their reaction, once he got those couple of points with whatever, 30-something seconds left, they knew it was over. You're probably not giving that back up. Like, you're not going to go, you don't go get a desperation couple of points or point to tie that match back up.
No, without a doubt. And keep in mind, too, so this was during the championship rounds, right? And that was actually the main event of the championships. And the cool thing with wrestling sometimes is, depending on who's wrestling, they'll move them to, like, the main event slot. So, like, a couple years ago, I think when it was Bo Nickel, like, I think he was the 185er, he closed the show, right? So this match right here closed the show. And they closed the show not because it was supposed to be a competitive match. It closed the show because, this is our last time to see Gable Stevenson. So, like, people wanted to watch him go out on top one last time. And lo and behold, arguably the biggest upset of all time happened, right? Because there was one guy in the tournament from Penn State who was kind of arguing like he should have been the main event, because he actually won, and it's only happened with him. He won 5 national championships, this guy at Penn State. But they chose to put Gable Stevenson in because, he's kind of put like the sport in another level. So, all right, supposed to be, Stevenson showcase match, last one, prime time, main event. And then obviously the unexpected happens, man. It's crazy.
Everything you just explained, I saw that too, and I saw like there was a press conference, right? And the Penn State guy was like kind of mad, right, that he wasn't in front and center.
Yep.
So that was pretty interesting, like how I didn't realize that. I didn't know there was that kind of jockeying around for like front and center of what's going to be the marquee match. It makes some sense. I just didn't realize it. So that was pretty wild. So a little bit of history, NCAA history. It's not very often you get a live call that says the biggest upset in NCAA history.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how big that was.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think when the odds closed, Brent, and it was the main event, I think Gable Stevenson was minus 3,000. So I'm not sure like what that comes back for the underdog, but I feel like minus 3,000, man, that's crazy. Because once again, I get it. Like, okay, like, there's your favorites and everything, but it's wrestling. Like, all it takes is one slip up here, there. It's not like a basketball game, right, where you have so much time to make up for one mistake. Like, here with wrestling, man, all it takes is one thing, and the entire match can be turned around. And to go to the comments real quick, Mr. Hugo, it's like Daniel Bryan winning the title versus Batista, Randy Orton. I would say it's like Brock Lesnar pinning Undertaker at WrestleMania, where we never thought it was going to happen. Like, I never thought Gable Stevenson was going to lose another match again, especially at the college level, and I never thought that Undertaker was going to lose at WrestleMania. But hey, sometimes the shocker can happen.
Yeah, big moment over the weekend in NCAA wrestling. Hey, we got a big moment coming up a little bit later on today in about a half hour or so, and we present our Committed to the Uncommitted scholarship winner here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. We're going to do that at the top of the hour. You're going to meet him coming up next. We're going to take a time out here on the Brent Austen Show. Liv will join us, too, with a little bit of Liv's List, and also Kenyon the Jet Gardner from Paxton High School. He's going to stop by for a couple of minutes. We're live at Nimnicht Buick GMC here off Phillips Highway. Check them out at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. And a shout out to our guy, Miles Russell, as well. Look at that swing. I mean, we're watching Miles grow up. Now, we've done stories since he was 3 years old, and he just won another big one, Sage Valley Junior Invitational. It's another marquee event, and Miles Russell from Jacksonville wins it. By the way, Tyler Mawhinney also played very well in that tournament. Another one of our top local junior golfers. Watch out for the names like Mawhinney and Miles Russell on the PGA Tour in years to come. I hate to put that on them, but they are certainly tracking that kind of way. They are a couple of special young players from our area. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnicht, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, UConns, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnicht, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnicht has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnicht. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnicht. GMC. We are professional grade. Action Sports Jax is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
2024 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team.
Instant in the dying moments.
Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue, as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season.
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3, don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, here's a look at some of the vehicles right here in the showroom at Nimnicht Buick GMC, and that's a good-looking one there. I think that's the Canyon. And then we got to hang on to this shot for a little bit because we go over to the EV Hummer, and that thing looks pretty sweet. We'll show you inside. We're going to have Kenyon Gardner's going to join us in a moment. He's wishing that instead of giving him the scholarship check, you got one of these instead. But sorry, we haven't beefed up the program to that degree just yet, Kenyon. That's pretty good looking right here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, right off Phillips Highway. And NimnichtBuickGMC.com is where you can shop for a vehicle just like that GMC. We are professional grade. Brent Martineau, along with Kenyon the Jet Gardner now here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. And well, good to have you along, man. Young man from Paxson, as we have our committed to the uncommitted scholarship presentation here today. And you're our big scholarship winner, so congratulations to you.
Appreciate it.
You just finished up, well, not just, actually, now that we're heading into April, you're finishing up your high school career, but you did that in the fall. Does it seem like a long time ago now, or does it seem like yesterday?
Yeah, it seemed like a long time ago. Well, since I was started as a freshman, time went by so quick. It just moved so quick, and then now I'm about to sit here and graduate in the next 2 months. It's crazy.
You're running track right now, right?
Yes.
How's that season going so far?
Actually, it's going kind of good. I actually got to pick it up, even though I was I was sick. I was sick last week, so I couldn't run into Bob Hayes.
Really?
Yeah. So I just had to hopefully move forward and just, keep going.
Had you run in that in the past?
Yes, I did last year, but not my main event. My main event is the 100.
Yeah.
For some reason, I ain't run it last year, but I ran the 200 and the 4x1.
Okay. And so you're running the 100, 200, 4x1, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because you're an under 4.4 guy speed-wise, right?
Yes.
Where'd you clock that?
I clocked that at the Mercer camp in the summer.
And that was like a 4.38?
Yes.
You got more left in the tank or what?
Yes, I do.
So listen, we got a chance to watch Kenyon in the fall, obviously quite a bit, playing for Paxton, and you did a little bit of everything there. They like to get the ball in your hands, kick return, punt return, running back. Is that what you're going to do at the next level?
I hope so. My main focus is to be like at running back, my main position, but it would be good if I play in my other position like receiver, safety, kick return, punt return. Yeah, just my main focus is running back.
You like that football in your hands?
Yes.
What got you into football? Have you been playing since you were a kid?
I started since I was like 7. Not told my parents I really wanted to play football because I've been watching the NFL. Yeah, and yeah, pretty much. I mean, I started really from basketball and baseball, but I really want to play football.
Okay, so you did a little bit of everything as a kid.
Yeah.
And you're a Jags fan watching the NFL?
Yes.
All right, good. We like that.
Yeah, my favorite player is Travis Etienne because I love what he do on the field and off the field.
That's a good one. We're hoping for a big year for Travis Etienne. What was a favorite memory of yours coming out of this, maybe your high school career, but even high school season in the fall?
Talking about this year?
Yeah. Or it could be anything. Maybe it was something way back.
Okay, so last year, actually, no. Let me go back to freshman year when I scored 4 touchdowns against Stanton as a freshman.
That's pretty good. That's kind of a little bit of a coming out party for you then.
Yeah. And another one last year, scored 4 touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns, and 2 pick six in the first half. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good resume right there, just in 2 games. Forget about the rest of it. You obviously want to utilize your speed. You can do that in the return game with a lot of space in front of you. It's a little bit different in running back. I mean, you've got to still have the vision, right? You got to have the blocking and before you can get into that open space to utilize that speed. So how good are you at that part? How good is the vision, setting up blocks, all the other nuanced things that maybe a lot of people don't see or we don't show on a Friday night?
My vision and IQ is really good. And shout out to my O-line to making the great blocks for me to make the great runs.
Yeah, no doubt you need that. All right, so give us an idea of what you're thinking for school. I was talking to Kenyon earlier, and it's an interesting process. I know Presbyterian was kind of high on the list. Now FAMU's in the mix a little bit, but there are other schools in the mix. And this gets later and later for guys like you because of the transfer portal and everything else going on in college football right now. There's a domino effect, so you really don't know exactly where you're going yet. But tell us what you're thinking, at least as of whatever the heck it is, March 24th.
Well, I'm just hoping for something. I'm just hoping for something. You know, I mean, I had some coaches like from Albany State, Valdosta State, and Bryant University. I think it was Friday. It's Friday. Yeah, they was following me on Twitter, and I ended up sending them a text and showing them my film. So I just hopefully I can get something. Either way, I hope I go to college. That's either way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Well, yeah, of course, obviously the education comes first, but the opportunity to play would be good. Is there any chance track and field could be a part of this for you, even at the collegiate level?
Yeah. I'm planning to do football and college. I meant not college, but track.
And track, yeah. That's good.
Football and track.
Which you can. I mean, it seems like you can, and I think a lot of football guys will encourage that. To do that in track and field as well. I mean, not everybody encourages multi-sports, but you'll be able to run a little bit would be good. How hard is the process to try to play at the next level in today's current landscape, which is really, by the way, where this program was born, coming out of the pandemic, and now we've seen the transfer portal and NIL and other things, but you're an under-recruited guy with a lot of talent. How hard has the process been to find that next place?
It's kind of tough, especially with the school I'm at, getting not much of exposure that I truly deserve. Yeah, pretty much.
How about did you do a lot of camps?
I tried to, but I had other things going on with track, so I couldn't really go do that.
Yeah. So anyway, so you got a little bit of time, and hopefully you'll find a good landing spot. Where did you get the Jet nickname?
Ben had a nickname for like years ago when I was like in middle school. I mean, yeah, I was fast. I just felt like calling myself the Jet, and everybody else gonna start calling me that like when I was starting in high school. So yeah.
See, fast enough where he nicknamed himself. So do you go by, like, with your buddies, with school, whatever? Do you go by the Jet, or do you?
Yes.
That's what they call you.
Yes.
I got to start calling you that.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave Kenyon out.
I appreciate it.
I like it. Anything that you're looking to do school-wise? Obviously, football's a big part of it. Hopefully get to the next level, or track and field, whatever it might be. But what about school-wise? I know Mom's over there. She that's the most important part.
Yeah. Somewhere near to the house, in school, like near home, probably like around Florida, Georgia.
But how about studying?
Oh, probably sports management or business.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, the Jet. Kenyon, the Jet Gardner. He's our committed to the uncommitted 2024 football scholarship winner, and we're going to have a little check presentation for him. But $2,500 toward that next endeavor, man. So hopefully that helps in the college ranks, and we'll be rooting for you. Let us know where you end up. All right.
I appreciate it.
All right. That is Kenyon, the Jet Gardner from Paxson School, and had a heck of a high school career, and looking forward to watching him at the next level. We're going to grab the headset from you, and we're going to give it to Olivia Tassley as she's going to come in here. And we got a little Liv's List segment from Nimnicht Buick GMC on the road today. See, Liv's job was to help bring the nothing but cakes and other things.
Job.
The biggest job.
Honestly.
I figure on your Liv's List could be like, what's the favorite kind?
Ooh, yeah. And the fun part is that their Easter flavors are out.
Oh.
So that's a whole new assortment. So I got a typical assortment, and then I got their Easter assortment.
That's usually like a red velvet or lemon, a vanilla. They got some raspberry, chocolate chip, whatever. I don't know, but I'm more the plain vanilla or lemon guy.
Okay.
They've got a confetti one.
The confetti one is a winner, yeah.
But I don't know the Easter one. I'm not. I mean, I'm a connoisseur over there, but I'm not I don't know the Easter one.
It looked like cookies and cream was one, so we'll see. We'll dig into it later.
Yeah, we will not be bringing that back for you, Austin Lane.
Sorry.
I don't know if we've got Austin back there for
a
little
I'm here.
segment.
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah, mouth is watering. I'm kind of bummed that I'm not getting any of the bunt cakes, but I appreciate you at least painting the picture for me.
Yeah, by the way, so we have Kenyon the Jet Gardner on, runs a 4.38, and why do I know that if I had Marcel Robinson on the show right now, he'd still say he could beat Kenyon in the 40, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. I mean, we're still supposed to race it. I've been trying to postpone that as long as possible.
The Jet's shaking his head. No, Don't worry, man. I'm with you. I mean, Marcel's full of it. He couldn't beat you. I know.
No,
you
can't take on a guy who nicknames himself the Jet.
There you go. So he wouldn't be able to win the race. Take that, Marcel. All right, Liv, what you got for us today?
All right, so Kim, let's start with the Jaguars.
We've really put Kim to work today, haven't we?
We have.
Kim's been through the ringer.
Yeah.
But yeah, reaching every single expectation.
She's setting the bar.
Thank goodness Habby called in sick.
Nice.
Also, I was almost your next mugshot because I was doing very questionable driving down here to try and make that segment.
Yes.
First and foremost, I was 2 minutes off.
She came in.
2 minutes.
Austin, she comes in here huffing and puffing.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? Like, she said, I was trying so hard to get here in time for Mugshot Mondays.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, I mean, Liv, it kind of all started with you as well. And by the way, Liv, did you see that the girl got arrested again that started Mugshot Mondays?
I did. I was watching I wasn't watching it. My eyes were on the road. I was listening to it in the car. And I was
you can do that, see?
Come on. I was like, I'm almost there. Just wait, one more mugshot.
By the way, drive safe out there, everybody. You can always just listen on the podcast. Goes up at 1:30, or always go back and watch it on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and it replays on the Action Sports Jags 24/7 network later tonight at 10 o'clock as well here on the Brent Austen Show. So don't feel like you got to watch it right this very second if you've got something important like driving on your hands.
Don't.
But we appreciate the effort, Liv.
No problem.
So what do you have
see
for
my
us?
mugshot. at one point. All right, let's start with the Jaguars. We'll go back to March Madness. So the Jags started this thread on Friday, like, how are we doing? DM'd all the players, who you got. And of course, we'll start with Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, unfortunately. Staying strong there, soldier.
Not good for Clemson. I had them deep, too, by the way, and it had nothing to do with Trevor or
So
ETN.
did I.
But I thought Clemson might make a little bit of a run, and they disappointed big time.
Would like their update, how they're feeling. Who we have next? I think we have a Ross or who we got? Oh, Cam Little. That's right.
Cam Little.
Hogs by a million.
Well, he's looking good. Cam's
Not
having
bad.
a nice year for himself.
Not bad. He just came off the players. Now we're into madness. He's keeping it going.
And Arkansas, by the way, the highest remaining seed, 10 seed out of the SEC, one of the 7 out of 16 teams from the SEC, still dancing in the Sweet 16. Anybody else?
Ross, I believe, is next. Here we go. Ross had to explain himself. Baylor, we did it in 2021. We can do it again. Not talking to Logan until we handle Mississippi State in the first round. We respect the loyalty, but then we go to Logan's response.
Which, by the way, Baylor did beat Mississippi State in the opening round, but then lost to Duke.
Logan didn't even pick Mississippi State. He went the Dogs.
Well, that is the Dogs. It's the Bulldogs.
Oh, well, sorry.
Bulldogs.
I'm
okay.
thinking Georgia Dogs.
I was thinking Dogs as well.
I thought so too.
It is interesting, though, when you spell it like that, it does feel Georgia,
It feels
right?
Georgia.
It's
very Georgia-ish.
Like that, where they ring the bell in Hale State, too.
It's giving Georgia. It's Mississippi State.
Dogs got hammered by 90 in like the first 10 minutes of their game. The Georgia Bulldogs to Gonzaga.
Yes. All the dogs are out. Did you see that?
Oh, are they all out?
All the mascots with Bulldogs, I believe, are out of it.
Well, that would make sense. Gonzaga's gone, Georgia's gone, Mississippi State's gone. There were probably a lot of them. I think Drake is a Bulldog. I saw this. I saw they were doing that on like TNT, one of the show with Barkley and everybody. They were trying to say which kind of dog it was.
Oh, really?
They did a little game, and old Chuck wasn't very good at it. Of course, he probably didn't watch that game. So, what else you got for us, Liv?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys was there one? I think did we have Fred Taylor? Of course, Fred Taylor's going to do. Oh, Tyson Campbell. That's right, Georgia, but realistically Auburn. So he's on the Brent Martineau train.
Ah, look at you,
Chalky
I respect that,
McChalkington.
by the way, like. He obviously is going with his heart, but he said, I don't think they're going to win it all.
Yeah. I like the honesty.
That's good.
And so did the Jags. Oh, and then, of course, Fred Taylor. And the Jags' response, I just want everyone to have fun.
Yeah. And Fred, by the way, can finally say this and not have too much just thinking with his heart. That's also thinks with your head, because the Gators can absolutely win it all.
Again, I'm checking my DMs real quick to see if the Jaguars messaged me, and I didn't see it. Nope. All right, we're all good.
Oh, they missed
Please
you?
continue. Yeah, missed me.
Maybe starting soon. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe they don't know your Twitter handle. We'll have to advertise it more.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so this one is kind of geared toward Austin because I don't understand it, but Austin has odd morning routines with his.
This is good. I'm glad you brought this up.
Have you seen the video?
I don't know what this is. I caught this today. I even texted the guys. I'm like, what's this whole morning routine stuff about?
I have no idea, but it's going viral. It's specific water. What is the tape over the mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what that, like Austin, is that a thing?
That's it's called hostage tape, and what it does, it's supposed to increase, like, I know, right? I mean, super specific, but it's supposed to help out your sleeping habits, because when you sleep, you're supposed to breathe through your nose, so it tapes your mouth shut so you don't snore and breathe through your mouth.
How interesting. That's why he has like a little tape on his nose too, I'm guessing. And then you have to have this specific water and dunk it in, like, your face in it. What's with that water? Is it like from Fiji or something?
No, it's cold ice water. So if you ask, many people in Hollywood think that Pharrell Williams has, like, some of the best skin. He's like 85 years old. He looks like he's 20. So what Pharrell Williams always said is that all he uses is cold water to wash his face, and that's it. So cold water is supposed to, like, be really good for your pores and then be really good for your skin. So that's what this guy is showcasing here. By the way, I haven't even seen this before, so this is new.
Really? It's all over.
Yeah,
I mean, is it getting graphic
on it today?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is this? What
was that? A banana?
The banana peel on the face.
Liv, you're supposed to be the expert at this stuff.
This is what intrigued me, because I want to find out why you rub a banana peel on your face. I mean, there's potassium for sure, but
I want to know what Liv's algorithm is to come across this dude in just this whole video here.
It was on my algorithm too.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. Because apparently wearing a shirt doesn't, count towards like personal health and fitness.
No. I don't.
The amount of work.
Not when you look like that,
video,
though.
By the way,
It was also like 4 hours long. That is a long morning
was it
routine.
really?
Did you see that? It started at like 4 a.m.
well, that's how you look like that.
Yeah, well, that's called dedication, people.
It is dedication.
I mean,
Maybe the Jet will do one. We'll have to. Did you like? I mean, I'm like stunned at he ate the banana and then rubbed the banana peel on his face. I need to look into that because I love
Good for your
skincare
complexion,
routine.
apparently.
Banana peel is really good
Oh.
for your
assuming.
skin.
it is okay. So yeah, Kim Possible
It's-
confirms that's
look at
really good
Kim's
for your
corner.
skin.
I won't eat bananas, but the banana peel is really good for your skin.
Who is this guy though? He obviously has a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, looks like he woke up in a pretty
A lot
nice.
of money. I mean, very nice.
Yeah.
But I saw I think Christian McCaffrey did his.
No,
morning
that was a
routine.
phony one, I
Oh, like
think.
a Christian McCaffrey.
It was a faux one,
Yeah.
I think because I saw it too, but I was like, I don't think that's
Doesn't
Christian
look like-
McCaffrey.
yeah, the
It's like-
side profile was off.
I got fooled by that one, but that's how it became a thing. I saw that one, and I saw the Jags share it, like
The
because they
Jags
did the
a
whole pool
thread.
thing.
Yep.
And I was like,
Of that guy. That's why I went and tried and find that guy because there's screenshots.
here's what I always wonder about this kind of stuff. So if we go, by the time we get our ducks in a row to be able to do something like this that's gone like viral or whatever, it's like Thursday, and then it's not viral anymore.
Yeah,
We'll get there one day.
Yeah, but one day. I mean, I guess it's got to start with our shirts being off, Brent, then we can go from there. Because I wonder why this guy's so viral right now. I'm sure having a physique has something to do with it.
Yeah, we use Photoshop, I think.
There we go.
Some of us.
AI.
You might not have to.
AI can get us.
AI can help us. All right, was that it? Liz?
We have the Orlando.
Oh, you got that too?
Yeah, we have.
Kim is just killing it today.
Nice.
So this is a whole thread as well.
All right, so we talked about this story about, I don't know, a little more than an hour ago, maybe it was 2 hours ago. I think it was in the first hour of the show, where I mentioned that Orlando was meeting to request money. Is that a little bit of a tip that the NFL and the Jaguars in 2027 are going to end up in Orlando? We're still probably within the next 2 weeks going to find out from the Jags perspective, or at least they're going to make a recommendation to the league of where they want to play, and then it has to be voted on. That will happen likely in the May owners meetings in Minneapolis. So that's kind of what we presented earlier. So today there was some significant news in Orlando, and then this came out of that meeting in Orlando just a short time ago as well, where they're going to do a $400 million renovation to Camping World Stadium. I feel like we had heard that there was a renovation coming, but this obviously adds some more specifics.
Yeah, so the
to it.
renovation has always been a thing. And I think today was they finally approved the tax dollars and all that stuff to actually make it happen. And then it's a whole thread of what this is. Like, includes a new upper bowl, premium club. They're now going to have 65,000 plus seats, so right in line with the NFL stadium average.
Yeah, which is about what the Jags have.
Which is exactly what the Jags have. And the renovations are set to finish in August of 2027. So it really lines up with the Jags season. So it's like all the hints, everything's hitting, all the boxes are being checked as to making this an NFL stadium, not just for all the other, they hold already multiple NFL preseason games. They hold the Pro Bowl, the Citrus Bowl, the Cheez-Its Bowl, and now could the Jags potentially have their home games?
Okay, so Austin, the Jags are going to Orlando.
Did you hear that, Tampa? Did you hear that? Rowan's put it up too. Rowan, put it up for the camera. Let them know. Tell Tampa that we're coming from. Did you hear it, Buccaneers fans? You want to stay salty? Well, we're re-upping because we're taking your football fans because they're going to become Jaguars fans and Liam Cohen's got them winning. And guess what? Tampa Bay Rays, we're coming for you next. You better believe it. Let them know, Roans. All right.
So, I mean, this is all adding up. Again, there's a lot of logic that adds up before any of this, but with that timeline to say it's done August 27, that puts a little squeeze on them to get that done. But keep in mind that year they could also get an extra game in London. How is that going to shake out, too? So they could play earlier in London, potentially, to give them more time to get the stadium right. A lot of things that could fall a couple years away. But this is adding up more and more, like the logic in my mind added up, that the Jaguars could play in Orlando. Austin, do you think the fans, again, I have this feeling that the fans don't love anything in Orlando. Do you think if it ends up in Orlando, the Jags fans will really care that much or just let it go?
No, I mean, honestly, I think it was either like, I think there's pros and cons to each, Brent. And I think if it was in Gainesville, people would complain about it being Gainesville. If it was in Orlando, people would complain about it being Orlando. So, yeah, I mean, I think there'll be some fans that are outspoken and not want to make that trek and not want to deal with that traffic and just, all the Disney crowd and everything. And I get it. But I think with Gainesville, you could have had a lot of arguments as well. So.
All right. Mugshot Mondays. You got to make it a little earlier next time, Liv.
You guys got to give me a little heads up. Come on. Work with
Liv,
me here.
hey, don't say guys. This was all Brent Martineau. Like he was calling the shots. He wanted to do it at that segment, so we did it at that segment.
Listen, he was very excited about it all weekend. He had the FOMO, and I get it. So now we're even. We will both now take part in Mugshot Monday.
All right. We'll have that. Catch Liv on a week with Action Sports Shacks. That airs Wednesdays, Thursdays, and a couple of times on the weekend on the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network. All right. We're going to close up shop and finish off our scholarship presentation. Good to have Kenyon the Jet Gardner from Paxton out here. He is our $2,500 scholarship winner. Thanks again to Nimnicht Buick GMC for hosting us today and being a big part of that scholarship presentation that we do a couple times a year now for kids in football and baseball and softball as well. And we're going to keep growing that program as it's highlighting under-recruited kids in the area trying to make their way to the college level. We'll see you tonight on CBS 47 and Fox 30 as well. Back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. in studio with the Brent Austen Show. Back to school for Ronan, by the way. It's time to go to school, Ronan. Spring break is over. And don't forget to send sports@actionnewsjacks.com your Shock Your Mocks from Pro Football Network. Sports@actionnewsjacks.com. Have a good day, everybody. It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now, the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant. Or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic. He's got some exciting news heading into 2025 as well. Christian Kirk. It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, which many of you have, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Shacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, you can take 10% off any water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jags Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
I'm ready to show my hand, ready to take a stand, wait on the side.